Okay. So good morning, everyone. In today's presentation, I will be presenting on behalf of the 5G logistics project, our work so far and what exactly we're trying to do in terms of putting another brick on the wall with what has to do with ports and the shipping industry and how we are implementing in real life applications of 5G, artificial intelligence and Internet of Things. So a little bit about the project. It's a project of a total value around £5 million. The location is in southwest Bristol. And it's comprised by multiple industrial partners, both for networking and 5G, but also in terms of the shipping industry, logistic industry. So we are putting everything together in order to essentially create new technology for the logistics industry. So going back to the story of ports, the journey of the project starts from the ports. So we will talk very quickly about the story of ports and how it all started by industrialization, creating the logistics supply chain. And there was always a goal into automating and streamlining processes to essentially reduce costs. So over the years, ports have been trying to implement smart applications, leverage technologies, cutting-edge technologies to reduce their costs, both operational and losses, in order to try and maximize profit and also improve their customer experience and, in general, streamline the logistics steps towards the optimal point. However, in the recent years, we have seen some smart ports where we have been deploying sensors and actuators. However, there is still a lot of issues to deal with and a lot of money to save. We will see later on some numbers. What we are doing in this project is we are trying to put together artificial intelligence and 5G and demonstrate in real life applications in order to showcase how in practice these two technologies can bring optimization and benefits to not only the logistic industry, but other industries as well. However, when we try to do this and talk to the ports and to the industries, usually the reaction that we get talking about 5G, the benefits of 5G and how machine learning is operating in multi-access computing, etc., we usually get a reaction such as this cut here. And that's because these are complex technologies and it doesn't always make a lot of sense why we want to use them and how exactly the benefits will arise. So starting from AI and what is missing, we want to look at the logistics industry over the years. So there has been improvements over the years. We started many years ago with logging everything into notebooks. Then we moved towards software such as spreadsheets and information systems. However, at the moment we are in the industry of logistics and ports, there is still a lot to do to improve, and what we think that improvement will be is the fight between humans and artificial intelligence. Why we say that is because humans are usually a bottleneck in automation and optimization. Because they are slow, they make mistakes, and they need breaks. So it's time for humans to probably take a break and allow AI to take control, not only in terms of utilizing machine learning models, but also to create a business logic around AI and machine learning. But how exactly will that happen? Is it clear? Probably not. Let's see what is missing regarding 5G and why we want 5G in the first place. So this is a map of the Bristol port. As you can see, or maybe you don't see, however, it's a very large area with hundreds of companies collecting their products and goods. Some of them are manufacturing there, some of them not, but it's a very complex environment. And in 5G logistics, we are going to deploy smart use cases such as drones, policing the port, monitoring the ports, smart traffic management. And the main use case that we're focusing is free ports and how we can deploy a private 5G network for creating a port, for transforming a port into a smart free port. So for those who don't know, free ports are essentially an attraction to investment, and they are essentially operating within a free economical zone for companies to collect their products and manufacture their products and resell them without paying tariffs. So in order to understand better, we are going to see here how a port like that would operate in 4G, where all the sensors, all the hardware that we want to utilize would have to connect to 4G base stations, and then all the traffic would go to third parties, other logistics, security policies and smart services would have to run primarily on the cloud. However, with 5G and private networks that can be moved within the port, the security would be enhanced significantly. Smart services could leverage technologies such as multi-access computing, and the whole Freeport and smart port would become more controlled and easier to manage and extend. So a closer look on how machine learning and AI would look like in practice is important, as we will have multiple data plants, which could be the industries or a company or just a sensor really by itself. And we will have a back and forth transaction of data from the data sources and the machine learning models in order to generate predictions and so on and so forth for optimizing and automating the industries. However, machine learning models are not an easy task to deal with. They are difficult to manage, especially when there are a lot of them, and it's not easy to scale and in a way synchronize the data coming in and out of the machine learning models. As well, the complexity the security is complex. So overall, it's not an easy task to do, especially when we go into the real world and we're dealing with real industries, people, and they are looking at benefits and they need their systems to operate properly. So the focus is on real-time artificial intelligence, and we have seen some of the requirements in this project. So first of all, we want to create the value around private 5G networks, leverage multi-access computing, and enrich 5G user equipment with IoT, RFID, etc. To essentially create a heterogeneous platform for different services for different applications. So 5G logistics has specific goals. The first one is to deploy a private 5G network for the Bristol port, one of the first on the planet, and definitely a challenging task. We're trying to identify key challenges for free ports and logistics, develop the technology required to tackle these challenges, transform the Bristol port to a smart free port, demonstrate the technology benefits, and why not try to create Bristol as a global leader in free ports and smart end-to-end logistics. So we are comparing ourselves to world-leading ports such as Shanghai, Singapore, Rotterdam, Netherlands, UAE, Jebel Ali, another big Freeport and Port of LA. So these are all ports that are working as free economic zone ports, and they have a lot of smart applications around them. So looking at some of the benefits, is my time running out, Mark?
Yes, we're tight on time now.
Okay, so I'll go quickly 1 minute on the benefits and finish. So one of the benefits we're looking for is reducing the damage and misleading of containers during transport, minimizing or completely eliminating theft and loss, utilizing smart 5G containers, creating some additional integrity for Freeports with real-time AI applications and monitoring systems, and enabling the smart logistics by automation and provisioning real-time data to the industries. This is the technical architecture. We're not going to talk about this. Whoever wants to see more, you can visit the website of the project. This is as well what we are creating in the container by slicing it essentially with sensors and providing monitoring to different companies securely. And we're planning to demonstrate in March 2022 the use case in the real world, where we are planning to demonstrate the benefits, hopefully by the end of the project. So that's it. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So thanks, Alex. From the chat, Maria's popped a few questions in. So from what you've been doing so far, are the logistics industry interested in taking this on board and embracing it, or is there a pushback?
There's not a pushback. I think the main issue is that the adoption is quite difficult because perhaps this is a lesson for us maybe to learn that when we're trying to kind of move the technologies we're creating to industry, we have to simplify them, abstract them, and kind of create an easy access for logistics, for example. So I wouldn't say there is a pushback, but definitely there is a gap to fill when it comes to providing 5G AI in real world applications.
Okay, so you mentioned quite a few types of sensors, and unfortunately I rushed you on as you get into your application. So can you just say what type of sensors that you would be connecting into your AI-driven 5G network?
Sure. So the sensors we are using are connecting to the 5G router that we have created in the project. So Smart in the Lab has been leading this work, and the sensors are essentially generating data in near real time. So we're looking at messages in milliseconds. So they can be considered 5G sensors that we are essentially streaming the data to machine learning models serving on the Mac.
Okay, thank you very much. Because of time, we need to pass on to the next speaker. So thanks, Alex.